Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
What's up?
Okay. Oh, do you want me to go first?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. What are we doing?
You have to ask me the question. What are we talking about today?
Oh, God. I don't know how this goes anymore. What are we talking about today?
I think I like just the bullshitting opening. It's fun. It's more fun than the thing.
We'll
The
get
other
the hang
thing.
of this.
We'll do it eventually. We're talking about our top 4 movies that surprised us the most. Horror movies that surprised us
yes.
the most.
You gotta make sure it's horror. I could say a lot of different movies if it was just movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so today we actually decided we're just trying this out. We have no idea if it's gonna stick, but we are trying out a new segment called Today I Learned, or really
Things
I learned, because we never learn things the day that we're recording.
No.
We learn things a few days before, or weeks, or whatever. We've had it saved.
And then we definitely, you guys find out way after.
Way after. So today you are learning. So yeah, I guess none of that was worth it.
It's words.
Today you are learning the interesting things that we have found around the internet, or in Michaela's case, from friends.
Yeah.
And you couldn't not talk about it because this is like your jam.
This is my shit.
Okay, well, I'll do my really short one first. So, today I learned things I learned. Today you're learning. We should just say all of those all at once, all the time. Today I learned.
Learn thing.
Learn things. Okay, so I actually learned that, I hate to say that I learned it recently because I think it's something that I heard about a long time ago. But anyways, I found an article about it. So today I learned that the Jeepers Creepers monster was actually inspired by a real life killer.
Who?
We'll get to that.
Girl, really?
Dude, I like reading the articles because they, especially when I haven't read them before, because I'll get like honest reactions.
Okay.
And we'll be like, oh, that's creepy, or not. Oh, wait, are we still recording?
Is it the slinging slasher?
No. Click to the article and look at these pictures.
Article.
Article.
God, do I have to go to your notes now?
Yes. Okay, you're there. But scroll down to this picture of this fucking guy and his wife.
Oh, his wife? Oh.
Yeah. What? Okay, this guy.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. We'll get there. Apparently his name is Dennis Depew. So, real life killer that inspired Jeepers Creepers.
Whoa!
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Calm.
Oh my god.
I haven't scrolled down to wherever you are.
Oh my god.
Okay,
This is my shit. Okay, go.
Plenty of horror movies have been inspired by actual events over the years, from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to Child's Play. In fact, as we recently told you here on iHorror, which is where I found this article, even A Nightmare on Elm Street has real-life inspirations, which I told you when we were watching it, that I was like...
It was like
Wes
people
Craven.
were dying in
People
their
were dying in the
sleep.
70s, and so Wes Craven created Freddy Krueger. Despite the fact that a burnt-faced dream demon, of course, never truly existed. You also might be surprised to learn that the 2001 Jeepers Creepers was similarly derived from true events, a fact that wasn't in the least bit played up by writer-director Victor Salva. The movie, of course, is about a winged monster that plucks out human eyeballs, and though it may seem impossible that it was grounded in any sort of reality, it most definitely was. Cue creepy-faced...
Creepy McGee. Holy shit. I mean... Keep going.
You good?
Yeah.
It was in 1990 that Michigan resident Dennis Depew became the subject of a police manhunt after murdering his wife. Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
And dumping her body behind an abandoned schoolhouse. Story goes that the murder was an act of vengeance after his wife filed for divorce, with Depew shooting her in the back of the head. Ugh. In Jeepers Creepers, the monster dumps bodies behind an abandoned church, much in the same way Depew deposed of his wife. But it wasn't Depew that inspired the film so much as it was the testimony of 2 eyewitnesses who saw him dump the body. While driving around on a long stretch of Michigan Road, Ray and Mary Thornton spotted Depew doing his dirty deed. Ugh. And then found themselves followed by the killer, who suspiciously tailed them in his van for several miles. Sound familiar? Because it certainly should if you've seen Jeepers Creepers. Did I tell you about Jeepers Creepers? And why Flynn hates Justin Long?
No, I love Justin Long. Why does Flynn hate Justin Long?
Okay, Flynn, I'm sorry. If you ever listen to this, you're going to hate me, because whoever listens to this will now know that he's an actor.
Oh, wait.
He went up for the role in Jeepers Creepers, but Justin Long got it. So everything after this is because Justin Long got the role instead of Flynn. And now he hates him. Because he's mostly sad about the Galaxy Quest. Because he could have been in Galaxy Quest and he could have met Alan Rickman. Which, I mean, same.
Yeah, same. I could have met Alan Rickman at Comic-Con.
Man, Reno met Stan Lee at Emerald City Comic Con.
Stan Lee is fucking expensive to meet.
No, he was just walking around.
Oh, never
Reno
mind.
was waiting in line to get an artist to sign an image that I had him pick up because I wasn't going. And Stan Lee just, was there, and Reno apparently gave him a hug.
It's not nearly as cool, but I smoked with Cecil Baldwin once at Comic Con.
Who's Cecil?
The Welcome to Night Vale guy.
Oh my god. Anywho.
Not nearly as cool. It's cool to me.
Now what's most interesting about all of this is that the TV show Unsolved Mysteries ran a story on the Depew case of March of 1991, a full 10 years before Jeepers Creepers was made. The segment featured a reenactment of Thornton's story, which bears a striking resemblance to the first half of Salva's film. As you'll soon see, the opening sequence of Jeepers Creepers was directly lifted from the episode, right down to the specific shots and dialogue exchanges. Like the Thorntons, the brother and sister in the film even passed the time by playing the very same license plate game, making the inspiration undeniable.
There's a video!
I'll put it in the informational write-up that I do.
But it's not the opening to Jeepers Creeper, it's it's the inspiration to the opening of Jeepers Creepers. So it's the Unsolved Mystery episode.
Yeah, but from the appearance of it,
you can already tell. It looks almost
like the
exactly
opening
the
Jeepers
same.
Creepers. So, oddly enough, while Salva had credited Steven Spielberg's Duel with serving as an inspiration for the film, he's never once given any sort of credit to Unsolved Mysteries, leading me to believe that he hoped nobody would ever make the connection. Of course, there's nothing wrong with using a ripped from the headline story as a basis from the film, though the direct lifting from the Unsolved Mysteries reenactment of the story is suspect, to say the least. Shortly after the episode aired, a real-life creeper, Dennis Depew, was caught and subsequently committed suicide. So, no, he never went on to stalk a bus full of shirtless dudes, in case you were wondering.
Damn it!
He was also not a winged creature who ate eyeballs.
Hey, you don't know that.
I feel like when they made the movie, they were like, it's fine, no one will ever find out. And then the internet boomed, and he's like, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I thought that was so cool, though. I mean, it was just a little tidbit that I had never known, but I had never... Oh, I was right. English is my first language. Let's move on to your shit.
Okay. So, oh my god, whenever this airs, this won't be new news anymore. When this airs, it'll be a couple weeks after, or give or take, after this happened and the news broke.
I messaged you on Wednesday, by the way.
Huh?
I messaged you on Wednesday.
Oh, then maybe it happened on Tuesday.
Sure.
I think I posted about it on Twitter, the day I found out. Anyways, so the week of, around the 20-something of April, when the Golden State Killer, or, by a better-known term, pre-Michelle McNamara, the East Area Rapist.
Or the various other names he went
or
by.
Or the original Night Stalker. Yeah. Well, no, because that was somebody else, wasn't it? No, it wasn't.
No, that was him.
Yeah, that was him. Buddy Boy was caught. My brain is re-racking because I like to know dates. So yeah, around the 24th, 25th of April, the news broke that the Golden State Killer was caught.
Yay!
And apparently they had been tailing him for 6 days.
That's it?
Yeah.
So, like, after 40 years of shit, they were just like, hey, 6 days later, it's done.
Well, yeah, because so due to DNA that they had, they also took DNA off of, supposedly, because I don't know how much I can trust the internet about this until I have actual confirmed reports. But supposedly they also lifted DNA from, like, cups he had drank from if he went out and about, stuff like that.
For that 6 days.
Yeah, and they matched it. So...
That's quick. Because my uncle works for the police department, and he's like, it takes, like, 2 weeks to get back DNA results.
It's really weird.
Maybe they were like, rush this shit because this is important.
This guy's been out for 40 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and thanks to one of those genealogy websites, either whether it was Ancestry or the Family Tree or whatever.
Yeah.
They ended up finding this guy. So, I learned a couple of things.
Of course you did.
So, our lovely friend Julia, she decided to go on a giant screaming rampage the day that she found out that he was caught one town over from her.
Oh, no.
Yep. So that was cool. She basically screamed that at everybody. So he ended up going to court this morning. It was either yesterday or this morning, April 27th or April 28th. And I
saw the arraignment. That was creepy. Like, just watching his face as he was telling him all of the shit. It was so unsettling.
Oh. So, he goes into court getting wheeled in a wheelchair.
Yeah?
Which...
Oh, don't tell me he, like, stood up at one point.
No.
Okay, good.
So, there are people who have come out that live in his town and know him, because he apparently spoke in a really frail voice.
Oh, Jesus.
Really low, really frail, sounding like he's super sick.
Ugh.
Apparently what he likes to do is scream at everybody and make rampages, yell at people.
Of course.
So...
psychopath.
Yeah, so this frail old man... Oh, and then he'll supposedly park in fire lanes in front of fire doors, and when the clerks of stores say you can't park there, he'll scream at them, I'm an ex-cop, I know what the laws are.
Oh my god.
So this whole frailty thing is
total facade, yeah.
Yeah. So, I am very excited to see where this goes, because not only does he fucking deserve it, if this guy 100% truly is East Area Rapist, Golden State Killer, he fucking deserves everything that he gets. He is also officially on suicide watch.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, like, when bad people like that kill themselves, it's like, oh, well, he should have gotten the justice instead of the easy way out. And I'm like, no, you just need to not be on the face of this planet anymore.
Yeah.
Using up our government resources to be housed for free and get fed and bathed.
The state of California is going to be paying for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. California taxpayers are going to pay for that. So.
Burn in hell.
Yeah. So he is apparently, he's being housed in a, like, prison sanitarium, quote unquote thing, because he's fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
And apparently they did put him on suicide watch because it apparently caught him by surprise that they even caught him at all.
Well, yeah.
After 40 fucking years, yeah. My favorite thing that I learned about him, though, which I'm still not sure if this is 100% true, but apparently he quit the force because he got caught stealing dog repellent and a hammer. I don't know. Something I read. Thought it was interesting.
Yes, that is interesting. That's how he left the force. I don't know. I don't understand the minds of psychopaths. We tried a few episodes ago to understand them, and we still don't. So I don't think we ever will, because that's not our job.
It's not our job. And so far, as of when we're recording this, he's been charged in 8 murders out of the 12 that died. So
and then the 40, was it 40
50,
rapes?
40 or 50.
Ugh.
And then countless amounts of, like, burglaries, breaking into homes, stuff like that. 12 murders, more than 50 rapes, and a ransacking of hundreds of homes from 1974 to 1886.
That's dark.
Yep. So, D'Angelo is the prime suspect. Police spent 6 days tracking his movements to plan how and when to take him into custody. They also took 2 samples of discarded DNA from D'Angelo, apparently from a used straw or cup, to positively identify him as a likely Golden State Killer. Isn't that crazy?
Everything's bad right now. I mean, that's a good thing.
That is a good fucking thing.
It's a really good thing that he was
The
caught.
one thing that really fucking got me about this whole thing. So, there were basically 2 ways you could have found out about this. 3, if you live in California.
Yeah.
1, living in California.
Yep.
2, if you follow any sort of creepy true crime podcast, if you yourself follow
like
true
Michelle
crime.
McNamara.
Patton Oswalt.
Oh yeah.
Patton posted all over the place.
Oh, did you see his Twitter? Like when they caught him, he's like, I've been up for 48 hours. Like, airport coffee, don't fail me now. I gotta get there.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so excited.
Yeah, he's really excited. He posted a lot of stuff being like Michelle, you got him.
Yeah.
Like,
because that's crazy. Her book came out a month ago, not even.
A little more than a month. I've had it for a little longer.
I don't remember. But yeah, you got really excited when it came out, and then this happens. And it's like, I 100% owe it to her.
It was it was one of those things. People were saying that when Michelle died, she kicked down his door and said, "You're fucking caught, dude."
It's your turn.
Right? Her ghost is kicking down his fucking door.
That's really great.
I love it.
Okay.
So that's my TIL, TYL, all that fun stuff.
TIL, TYL, TRL. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about our 4 horror movies. Yeah. So, we're going to do like a back and forth type thing. We're going to start with our number 4, and then in the end, go with our number 1, which is also our recommendations. So, my number 4 is The Babadook. Babadook? Babadook. So when I saw this movie for the first time, I think it was on Netflix. It was like finally on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure. I had never heard of it really. I had seen like, it was, okay, so you know the more recent movie, Pyewacket? That
the one
saw
that,
everywhere?
Yeah.
It was like that. Everyone lost their shit. And this was back in a time when I was watching horror movies that I knew of, or that were way more mainstream and not really indie flicks.
Yeah.
I've since changed. So I saw it, and it was okay. Flynn actually really wanted to watch it. And when I saw it the first time, it was creepy, but I was really expecting, I want to say more. It was just like, I wanted more of the Babadook, and then what turned out to be almost like a psychological thriller until all the shit happens.
Until you find out it's a really good metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the first time I watched it, it was just okay. I was like, all right, this is just some giant metaphor for being a good mom. Or being a bad mom. Or being a crazy mom.
So, me, my friend Reese, I'm about 99% sure Effie came with us. And also, my friend Fox.
Mm-hmm.
We went and saw it in theater.
Oh, okay.
And, I don't remember, I think it's the Neptune, no, something else. Some theater in, Seattle across from, Dick's. Yeah,
that does, like, Sundance films and, like, independent films, yeah.
Yeah, so we saw it there. So, as far as I remember, Reese liked it, but it didn't freak them out.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting next to Fox, and it freaked Fox out, and in return, Fox would grab onto me.
Oh, God.
And it would freak me out. So when we were done with it, Reese and I were talking, and they said that it was a good metaphor for dealing with like trauma, mental
loss,
illness.
Yeah.
PTSD, stuff like that, because it'll really screw you up if you leave it untreated, uncared for.
Oh, yeah.
But once you start to care for it, it becomes more dormant.
Yeah.
And with the ending like that, that's how you kind of play into that metaphor.
Yeah.
Where once it was dormant, everybody was like more or less fine.
Yeah. But so when I saw all the shit about it, it was like this creature, and I was like expecting almost like a ghosty creature feature. But then when I saw it, I was like, meh. And then, so, I watched it again on my own, and I was really tired. It had been a really long day, so I decided to put it on, and all the lights were off, because I was just in one of those I want to be alone in the dark modes. Yeah. And I put it on, and it scared the fuck out of me. Like, I don't remember the exact scene that actually scared the fuck out of me. I just remember it scared me a lot, and I actually couldn't finish it. Because I was like, this is getting under my skin. Like, too much. And especially when she, like, fucking kills the dog, and then she starts seeing the cockroaches in the walls, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So, I desperately love that movie.
It's really good. That was the point of this.
I love it to the point that they actually created the book.
Mm-hmm. Did you buy the book?
I almost did. They sold out before I could get to it.
Oh, no. I think I saw it on Etsy again.
Ooh.
I think it might be available on Etsy. Get it.
Yeah. They did like a release of it where it was like, it looked
actual pop-up.
So fucking close to authentic. It could have been pulled from the movie.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I almost got it. I'm desperately in love with this movie.
I saw this meme recently where it's
did you see that they're doing another one? Not like another Babadook, but that company, the same production company, is doing another movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I know.
But I saw this meme where it was like, what's your current form of birth control? And it was just a still of the kids screaming in the backseat. It was like the Babadook.
Yeah.
And I was like, same. But yeah, that's my number 4. So fucking good.
I love
that movie now. Like, it's one of those that I'm probably going to put also on a list later on when I'm like, it's a movie that I probably will never watch again, because now that it scares me, I know it scares me, and I probably won't watch it again.
So you've only seen it 1.5 times?
Pretty much. But I've only really been entranced by it one time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I think I've seen the movie like 8 times. I love it.
I'll have to watch it again.
I still have my ticket stub from
really?
Seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be on a list that we do in the future where it's actually a recommendation of mine where we actually talk about it and review it. So it's good. Your go.
All right. So my number 4 was kind of a toss-up between my 4 and my 3. Which one do you think is my number 4? Because you have a face like you know which one my number 4 is.
I don't know. I just want you to pick the one that I hope you pick.
So I might pick the wrong one.
Okay.
So my number 4 is Teeth.
Which I have on my list on Netflix, and I still haven't fucking watched. I want to watch it so fucking bad. It looks so good.
It is also one of my favorite movies.
Oh my god.
Because fucking girl power.
Yes. Fucking vagina teeth, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So I heard about this movie in like middle school or some bullshit.
Really?
I was young, and it was mostly guys.
Yeah.
That were freaking out because they're
like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, there's vagina, like teeth, vagina in her teeth. Yes. There's teeth in her vagina. Like, she fucking bites off dudes' dicks. Like, it's fucking crazy.
That's amazing.
Not only is it fucking crazy, it gets really, really fucking like step incesty. It's gross.
Really?
It's gross. So, I went into the movie hearing it was really fucking scary, which, yes, it is really scary if you're a guy that cherishes their genitals. Or if you're anybody that cherishes genitals.
I love him.
Who?
The guy, no, well, I don't know, maybe. The guy who plays Toby. Hale Appleman. He's in The Magicians. I love his character in The Magicians.
I don't recognize him. There's a part in the movie where they're kids and they're doing their stupid, like, exploration thing, and his finger gets bit.
Oh!
Yeah.
I don't... Ooh.
And you're like, ugh!
Because, teeth in the vagina, his finger gets bit. She's got 2 mouths!
Yeah, right?
Did you just poke yourself in the eye?
Is it red?
I saw you flinch.
Oh, no. I just do stuff. I mean, I think I've stabbed. That's what I was saying. I give myself a lobotomy because I'm like picking eye boogers out of here, and I'm like stab myself in the brain. Anyway, so
teeth.
It's so funny because I don't remember exactly what happened. I think I saw the movie like twice, and I try so desperately to watch it at home. Sam always says no. I'm not allowed to watch it with him at home. But from what I remember, she either gets dumped or some stupid crazy shit happens to her. I don't remember exactly what happened. But she went on a rampage, which I think she can control the teeth.
Oh.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, so she ends up killing a couple of dudes by biting their dicks off and they bleed out.
Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Girl power. My number 4, because I went into it thinking it was going to be stupid because all these guys thought it was scary. So, it's my number 4, because...
I mean, it's on the list. It's one of your favorites.
It is. I do love this movie desperately. But it's not as high on my list of movies that surprised me.
Because it's... Yeah. You got some other good ones.
Pretty decent ones.
Are you ready for number 3s?
Yeah.
Number 3 is Final Girls.
I never saw it.
Have you ever heard of it?
Well, I've seen it on your Plex.
Okay, so...
You talked about it once.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah?
It has almost everything. It's an... Okay, fucking... I think that my favorite horror genre is neither slasher nor paranormal. I think it is meta
so
cinema.
like horror that knows it's making fun of horror?
Yes.
Okay.
Because this is the epitome of meta cinema. So what happens in the movie is, I'm not going to go too much into it because I want to talk about it in a later review episode where I actually have it as my recommendation. Basically, it's Friday the 13th, where all these kids in a movie go to this cabin go to this camp and there's a guy who kills them.
Yeah.
These kids get transported into the movie.
Like, okay.
And they have to become part of the movie and make sure that the final girl becomes the final girl. And, like, they have to make sure that everyone dies in order, otherwise, like, it's almost like like Cabin
in the Woods.
Yeah, kind of.
They have a specific order of who's
because they've seen the movie a million times. Yeah. Because the movie has to be played out perfectly. So when they come into the movie, if anything starts getting fucked up. So, a little bit of a spoiler, when they come into the movie, the original final girl dies first. So they fuck everything up in the movie. And see, your mind is racing because you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about.
No, I've definitely had a dream like this.
Really? Yeah. I mean, it's totally delirium based because it's so good. I love it because, so there's an artist that I follow, IB Trav. I think that's his Instagram handle, IB Trav. But he was obsessed with it when it came out, and he was the one who made me want to watch it. And he did all these, like, 80 retro... So it is retro. Huh. 80 retro, like, neon pink, neon greens, but Friday the 13th based. It's amazing. It's got Vera Farmiga's sister, Tessa Farmiga, who is in most of the American Horror Stories.
Yeah, Vera Farmiga's daughter.
Sister.
Oh, sorry, sister. Yes.
I think I even said daughter, but it is her sister. But yeah, we should watch it just to watch it. On one of those times when we're like, what do we watch now? Let's just watch that. I'm going to keep it downloaded. I want to watch
that and Tragedy Girls.
Yes, another meta movie, which is, I love meta. I have to make like a meta t-shirt. Oh my god, goals in life. Project.
Yes.
And 3 for you. What's your 3rd? Yay! I know what this one is.
You're so excited.
Because...
You're so excited because it's opposite of me.
Yes. So much discussion.
Okay. So, my number 3, just because it's a stupid fucking concept, is It Follows. Okay. I really liked this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if the acting was shitty or not. In my brain, I want to say it was, but I also want to say it wasn't. I saw this movie once.
So did I.
Yeah.
So this is like almost like a snap judgment because I saw it once, immediately hated it, and apparently you loved it.
Yeah. That seems to happen. It's okay, though. So, one of my favorite things about the movie was the anti-trope, where they have to, in order to pass along the curse or whatever the fuck it was, they had to screw somebody else.
Yeah.
Which is and is not the same trope as if you have sex, you die. Because it is in the sense of if the other person doesn't sleep with somebody and they die, then it goes back to you.
Oh, yeah. Because, yeah.
Because remember, What's-His-Bucket has sex with her and then, like, knocks her out and she wakes up, like, tied to a chair. And he's like, look at that thing. That is going to follow you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I had to protect myself. And then she freaks out and she realizes what she has to do. But in the ending, she doesn't do it because she doesn't want to pass it on to anybody else.
I thought she does to the geeky kid.
Yeah, and then they deal with it together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the stupid, like, holding hands walks off together as the thing is following behind them.
That was kind of sweet. I liked that ending.
But I liked it because of that weird anti-trope of if you have sex with somebody, you may end up living. You may survive. Because if you're able to pass it along forward enough that you can just die of old age,
yeah,
then you don't die of the fucking weird curse thing, whatever it ended up being.
But you have to run from it for the rest of your life.
Well, you have to be aware of it.
Yeah.
Because once it passes on, it doesn't follow you anymore. But if that person dies, then it goes back to you, so you need to be aware if something is off.
Yeah.
So if somebody starts walking towards you, then it's time to just fucking book it. If you don't know that person, it's time to fucking book it.
Don't you, I thought you couldn't see it.
No, you can.
No, you, but anyone else who isn't inflicted.
Yeah, nobody else can see it.
Because I remember watching a scene of it very recently in one of our Instagram follower people, of this scene with the big tall guy. I think one of the first or second following STD creatures. He comes through and he bursts through the door.
Yeah.
And no one else, because she was freaking out and she was telling everyone to close the door and they were like, okay. And
you
then,
fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So nobody else can see it, you did see it multiple points in the movie where you can spot it in the crowd if you look for it.
Yeah.
Which is the horrible infliction that these people are dealing with for the rest of their lives. Even if it does get passed forward, they always have to make sure their peripherals are alert.
Anxiety on max.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it.
I honestly don't know. Okay, so first I'm asking you this. Why is it on your top surprise movie?
Because I thought it was going to be fucking terrible.
Is that pretty much the gist of your list?
I hated the idea
of it.
The concept of the movie. And so I thought it was going to be really fucking stupid. And I ended up watching it with a friend who was like, no, it's really good.
And
just give it a chance.
Okay. All right. So I don't know why I hate it. I just think that for me, it did not affect me at all. I had no whatever. Probably, I hate to say it, but I was never really promiscuous.
Yeah.
So I never had the fear of STDs. And so this one was probably a lot more young adult based where, you're growing up, you're going to be sleeping around, be careful kind of tropes.
Yeah.
But it was also one of those hype trains. Everyone was obsessed with it. And I was just like, sure. And one day I was bored and I was like, oh, this is a new horror movie I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Very similar to another movie that I'm going to put on the Everyone Loved But I Hated. And that is, I want to say Hush, but that's not right. Don't Speak.
I didn't see that movie. It
Okay.
was Don't Breathe, I think.
Don't Breathe. That one was another one of those. So when we do the movies, the unpopular opinion series that we're going to do, those are two of the movies that are going to be on my list. And I'm not going to talk about it, about why I hate it.
That's fine.
But yeah, so I'm just happy that we had a super differing opinion.
Oh, yes. It's okay. I probably will still never watch it again. It's just one of those one and done movies.
It was just
the one time I watched it, I was surprised by it.
Yeah.
So
we ready for runner-up suggestions?
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 2 and my runner-up recommendations. Runner-up recommendations is Trick or Treat, which you watched the other day for the first time. And so, okay, the reason why, first, before I go into, like, my sappy shit about it, this movie is an anthology movie, and it is made by Bryan Singer, and Bryan Singer did all of the X-Men movies and stuff, but it was actually written and directed by Michael Daughtry, who did wrote and directed Krampus. Did you ever see Krampus?
I didn't. I really wanted to.
It's a ride. It's not good, but it's a really good, like, entertaining flick. He also wrote Superman Returns and a lot of the X-Men movies along with Bryan Singer. And he also did Urban Legends Bloody Mary, which makes me want to see it even more. I talked about this. That's the second one. That's the third one.
Third one.
Yeah, so that's the only one I have not seen, which now makes me want to watch it even more. So, Trick or Treat is, like I said, an anthology series, and it's it's an anthology series that isn't completely separate. I told you that, like, when we first started watching it, you were like, oh, but all these and stuff. So, like, a lot of things happen, and I'm like, it all comes back, and it all makes sense in the end.
Oh, yeah, because of the guy next door, and the...
Yeah, and the principal, and then the girls, and then the very first couple.
The principal is still really fucking weird. But anyway.
In the end.
Oh.
Which was... I have to, like, that'd be cool to, like, look at a timeline. So, it's really good. I literally watch it every year for Halloween. I watch that and Practical Magic because...
I love Practical Magic.
I watch that,
I think about Midnight Margaritas a lot.
Yeah. And that song.
Yes.
Lime in the coconut. Anyways. So, I watched the Practical Magic for sentimental reasons and then Trick or Treat. I mean, technically also for sentimental reasons. But mostly just because it's literally the perfect Halloween movie.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
It was amazing. And then little Sammy.
He is so cute.
I mean, maybe not after he takes off his mask, but little pumpkin demon.
He's so cute. He's still really cute. He's got this cute little wrinkly face. Little wrinkly pumpkin face. And he looks like a child. Even with the pumpkin face, he looks like a child.
Yeah, and the fucking... anyways.
His arm going back together.
So, okay, so the reason why this is, like, a sentimental movie for me as well is because, so, literally the night before we got married was Halloween. So we got married on November 1st. 2010.
I'm sorry. That was like a wasted opportunity.
Why?
Why not get married on Halloween?
Because everyone else's schedule. We originally were going to have like a huge wedding. We invited all the family. And then his parents were moving back down to California for a while. You know, like they do. And we didn't know when they were going to be back. They didn't even know if they were going to be back for our wedding, our planned wedding. So we were like, why not just do it now? We'll have a big reception at a later date where everyone can come. Give us money and gifts. And it kind of worked out. It's probably one of the reasons, it is one of the reasons why we're doing our 10-year vow renewal thing is because we want, like, the big wedding. And we've gotten some guilt trips from
Did I tell you
members
that
of family.
Definitely stalked your Facebook to figure out how long you and Flynn were together?
No.
Yeah, I definitely did that because I was like, how long has it been? And I, like, went further and further and further back in your Facebook. I was like, holy shit, it's been forever.
I saw one of those things where my friend Paige, who we are going to do an episode with, she posted like a see how much you've changed thing. It's post something from 7 years, from 3 years, and from this year. Yeah. And I'm like, they would all be with Flynn. They would all be with Flynn. I got married really young. I got married when I was 20.
Yeah, I almost did. Almost did at 21. No. Yeah, 21.
But yeah, so anyways, the night before we did our impromptu, fucking like hurricane type weather at a park. It was great. It was Halloween, we were bored, and it was one of those movies where it was like an independent movie. We had never really heard of it, and it was just available for pirating really easy. It had a lot of downloads because it was Halloween, and so we were like, why not? And we actually loved it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like horror, but he really enjoyed the anthology of it because there were like monsters, there was demons, there were little creepy children, there was everything about it. But it was fun in a fun way.
See, and that's it. In my brain, that's not a horror movie because it was fun. It was fun to watch. That's why at the end of it, I was like, wait, it's already over?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
but
I don't know.
there's some fucked up things, like the kid vomiting, the blood, and then the
That was really fucked up. I thought it was chocolate because of the glare from the curtains. I thought he was vomiting chocolate.
Yeah, so did I the first time, but then when he picks him up and he, like,
And it's
vomits all
red,
over his shoulder, that's, like, legit blood. When you don't know the difference between it, it's really good. But yeah, so it holds a place in my heart. What did I actually say? So we watched the trailer after we download it, and we were like, sure. And then we only knew that there were a bunch of super famous-ish nerdy actors, so we gave it a shot. It was really good. I don't normally like anthology-type horror movies, but this one did it in a strange way, where there were a bunch of different stories that all lined up in the end and during. It was great. The effects were a little lackluster, like the werewolves.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. I thought them ripping their skin off was cool.
oh, the whole transformation. But, like, when she's sitting over the guy and, like, eating his face.
Oh, yeah, that was
and then
stupid.
the sister one comes up and she's like, ooh, and it's totally just animatronic.
Yeah.
It's so bad. But the acting and the storyline and everything like that was really good. But that's why it's my runner-up, because not only does it have nostalgic value and like emotional ties, but it's just a fun Halloween movie. There isn't too many movies besides the movie Halloween that you can watch on Halloween that aren't like, or kid movies like the Charlie Brown or Halloween Town or stuff like that.
Listen.
I mean, you can watch all of them. There just is not enough hours in the day.
I love Halloween Town.
To be fair, from September 30th to October 31st is Halloween for all of us.
All year is
All year is Halloween. Excuse me,
like,
I did
shut
mean
up.
to say. Well, like, I don't know. It's more publicly accepted as soon as the first day of fall is to just start celebrating Halloween.
That's true. That is very
I don't
true.
really feel like drinking pumpkin things when it's
I
100
still don't
degrees
even
outside.
drink pumpkin things.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I need to tell you something later. I had a thought, and I wanted to tell you earlier, but I forgot, and we'll talk about it later.
Are you going to lose it again?
No, because it's right there.
Red Star. Got it.
Your runner-up. Are you confused? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break your brain.
Okay. So, my runner-up is interesting. I was surprised by this movie in a different way than what we've been talking about. So, it wasn't I thought this movie was going to be bad, and I was surprised by it.
You just were really nothing about it?
I had never seen anything about this movie. I was in high school. Like, either, like, late middle school or early high school when I found this movie on the OG Netflix instant streaming. Original shit. OG Netflix streaming. It's a movie called Low. L-O.
Is it a foreign film?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I never heard of it.
Yeah. So, it's not only... Well, I'm fairly certain it's foreign. It's not, like, in a different language.
Oh, is it like probably a Canadian indie film or an English indie film?
Something like that, yeah. But it is very low budget. It is all practical effects. It is an experimental horror comedy drama.
See, but you just said that, like, fun movies you didn't consider horror.
There are some effectively horror things about it.
Yeah.
Like slight references to Evil Dead. So.
Wait, so slight references to Evil Dead is a horror, but a severed child's head on a platter is not horror? I'm just trying to understand.
And werewolves eating people and supposed vampires. And
I'm just trying to understand you.
It's okay. So, okay. I found this movie originally when I was in late middle school, early high school, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I had not seen it since until this week.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, his girlfriend gets taken by demons.
Okay.
And so he has this book where he's able to summon a demon named Lo. He got this book from her. So, it's a weird book. And throughout his summoning of Lo to the very end of the movie, he gets, Lo, he goes into his memory and, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Projects his memories.
Okay.
Of his girlfriend. And, like, when they meet and Christmas and stuff like that. It is very funny.
Okay.
one of the very first things that Lo says after they're summoned, which it is very, very much emphasized that demons are not he or she, they are it or they.
Makes sense.
Exactly. And so Lo shows, what was his name? Jonathan or Spencer or some shit. I literally just watched this movie again and I already forget his name.
Names. They're an enigma.
Lo demonstrates their power by this little inkling demon thing pops up on. So he's in his this dude's in his apartment in like a little fucking pentagram summoning circle. And the whole room is black. And this like small demon thing pops up and Lo does this like head, like kind of like Darth Vader where he like does the weird head. Ooh, my neck just popped.
Oh god.
The weird like throat thing, head twitch, and she like starts choking and her head tilts to the side and her fucking brains pop out.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah. And his words are, or their words exactly are, now clean the shit from your pants and tell me what you want.
Whoa.
I love him. Love Lo. I love them. So, this movie is very funny. There's...
Hey, you even write your notes. I wouldn't call it a horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. It is very... It's funny, but it's not like scary movie, like trying to be funny. It's low budget. But the demons are all like practical makeup and effects with like prosthetics and shit. So, the demon that took, the girlfriend's name's April. The demon that took April is this like Napoleon Nazi, because he's got the swastika on his arm, but he's in like Napoleon type attire.
Oh, so you mean literally, not like the short German person?
No, he's got like the war outfit of like Napoleon, but with like a swastika on his arm.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he's a crack me up because when he's like, here's what I know about your girlfriend. Your girlfriend's actually a demon, and here's a song about her. And it bounces to, like, him on stage like they're at a high school prom.
Oh my god.
And he's singing this, like, song, and he's in this, like, silver suit, and there's other demons behind him playing instruments and stuff. I love this fucking movie.
Okay.
I love this movie. So in the end of it, you find out, like, you find April and you find out what kind of demon she is. And it was one of those things where it was like, oh, I knew it, blah, blah, blah. I love it. If you are able just to, like, download it for a day and just watch it, I would recommend it. Or I can even give you Sam's YouTube Red to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, I will probably do that. It looks so weird. Just like,
it is so
if you Google
weird.
Lo movie and then there's this weird little creature.
The little green thing? Which one? Oh, that's Lo.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So, Lo is disabled. They're a disabled demon because their legs were crushed.
Okay.
Yeah. And Lo says that its legs were crushed because it was helping April escape.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it. That movie, ever since I saw it, I see a lot of movies and forget about them constantly. That movie pops up in my brain constantly. Like little tidbits of things will constantly pop up. I love that movie. And it was one of those things I just didn't expect it to be what it was.
Or stick in your brain, apparently.
Exactly, yeah. I expected, like, either some stupid, like, romance drama horror-y. Romance drama horror, or, like, I don't know, something more demonic than what I got.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of demons, but it's not like everybody's inherently evil. They're just bullshit demons.
Yeah.
Love it. I recommend it. I recommend you watch it.
I will totally watch it. I'm gonna watch everything we talk about, I have in, like, a to-watch list.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of ones that you talk about that I've never even heard of, like this. And that's why, like, whenever we get the chance to just sit down and watch a bunch of movies, I'm like, we're watching all these!
I love Thursdays. Yeah,
it's like my favorite day now.
When I found this was before Netflix was even streaming, like, mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
It was all their, like, indie stuff.
Low budget, what we could get kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's like, well, we have to charge people more to get the DVDs, but here's the digital rips of these low budget movies that we can get our hands on right now. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's my number 2. I talked for a really fucking long time about that.
That's fine.
I love that movie. Oh, the other thing I should tell you, Sam liked it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it was like a comedy, he likes the horror comedy
I
stuff.
think he was just intrigued by how weird it was.
Well, he's a weird little guy.
Yeah.
Are you ready for final recommendations?
Yeah.
Number 1 horror movie that surprised us. Okay, mine is Splinter.
Ugh.
So I actually had a hard time picking this one as my first one. I was really going to go with Trick or Treat, but it was, like I said earlier to you, I had a hard time picking between Trick or Treat or Splinter because Trick or Treat it wasn't an indie film, but it was like more well known than an indie film, but it was still like one of those like under the rug. It came out and then everyone kind of forgot about it.
You know, there's a ton of Sammy pins, right? Have I shown you any Sammy pins?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll have to find them
later. God, we're talking about so much that we need to talk about later.
You need to follow a pin group I follow.
Probably.
Yep. Go.
So I picked Splinter because it is an indie film that I had never heard of when Flynn and I watched it for the first time. And he doesn't like I keep saying, he doesn't like horror movies either. And when we watched this, it stuck into our brains, and it's one of the movies that whenever someone's like, what's a good horror movie to watch? It's like kind of actiony and not like paranormal. We're like, Splinter. Because honestly, it's like, it is a horror movie, but it's also just like I want to say creature feature, but yes, it's like a fungus and a mold, so it can't really be a creature feature, but it is an alive object that is attacking people from the inside out. And
I guess you can call it a creature feature because of what
it does.
It does.
Yeah. So it like takes over a human, and it's okay. So I'm not going to go too much into it because of our Patreon episode.
Yes.
But it's a really good movie. And so like if you hate like Michaela, she had a hard time with it.
Oh,
with the bone snapping and then
bodily horror.
So if you have an issue with bodily horror, or if you have an issue with parasitic type stuff and you really cannot handle things growing out of skin, you should not watch this movie because that's all it is. But like I said, I won't go into it too much because we want you guys to listen to our Patreon episode, but it's a good one. And I still, I'm looking at this list, and I really had so much less to say, even in the review, about Splinter than I do about Trick or Treat, because Trick or Treat is just like
it's a special place in your heart.
Yeah, it's a special place in my heart. It's my pride and joy of like goofy horror movies. But Splinter is just like unexpected. It was really unexpected. Like, no matter what I told you about it, it was not the movie you were expecting when we watched it. So
it was a lot.
It was a lot. There's some scenes even when I have to look away.
Oh, I had to look away for 90%
most of it.
The movie. God,
it's great, and the acting's not amazing, but it's actually got some good B-list actors.
Yeah,
but that's me, and we'll talk about the Patreon episode in a few minutes. So you tell us your number 1.
My number 1 is also slightly sentimental. Slightly.
Yeah. I don't think I know why it's sentimental, but go on.
So it's...
We'll say what it is first.
So one, it's the Troll Hunter.
Is it the Troll Hunter?
I think it's the Troll Hunter, not just Troll Hunter.
Oh, that probably is why I couldn't find it anyways.
Yeah.
Stupid search.
I know. So I had actually seen this on Netflix time after time after time and skipped it because I thought it sounded really stupid. Because I have a really hard time with creature features because the creatures can be really good or really fucking bad.
Goofy, yeah.
Yeah. So that was my thought process behind Troll Hunter because I was like, there's no way that it can't be campy. Yeah. Like, just doing a horror movie about trolls just sounds...
a little bit goofy.
A little goofy, a little campy. Troll Hunter is a found footage horror movie.
From Norway.
Yeah.
Totally in Norwegian. Yeah, not a lick of English.
There's a little bit of English when the Polish people
come I remember that. They're like, oh, you recording?
Yeah. So there's like a little tiny itty bitty bit of English. Yeah. So the whole movie is, unless you know
Norwegian.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. Unless you know Norwegian, you're gonna want some subtitles of some sort. It is found footage. These documentor journalists, whatevers, they're tracking a bear hunter.
Mm-hmm.
They're tracking suspicious bear deaths that keep popping up.
Because they're like almost like National Geographic, but like indie student film kind of thing.
Kind of. And they end up following this guy who they think is the guy killing all the bears, but they find out he's a troll hunter. So it's sentimental for me because pretty shortly into me and Sam dating, he told me to watch this. He sat me down and he said, you know what? You need to give this movie a chance. And I said, okay. And my face throughout the entire movie is the exact same face that I have when I'm like reading about crazy shit that serial killers do.
Where it's just extremely thrilled.
Oh my god. Yeah, I love this movie. The trolls are really fucking well done. The acting is really fucking well done.
Yeah.
The actual storytelling, the movement of the plot, that's all really well done. The whole thing is really well done. So
it was definitely surprising for me because Flynn had seen it too.
Yeah.
And he had also said the same thing. He's like, you need to watch it. And I'm like, nah. I'm not a huge foreign film. In any case, not horror or regular.
Yeah.
Or not horror or horror. I don't really like foreign films.
Yeah. It's just this, and I'm going to be so fucking typical for saying this. This movie, blue is the warmest color.
Mm-hmm.
And Pan's Labyrinth are the 3 foreign movies I can sit through. I have a really hard time with foreign films as well, just because they don't keep my attention for very long.
Yeah. Well, most of the time I like to, so not only do I watch movies over and over again because I just love being predictable that way, but I also just kind of want to be able to do other things. So when a horror movie is very much like ambience, I think it's either way. When a movie is strictly like no talking and a lot of subtitles, Quiet Place aside,
yeah,
I can't really watch it because I want to know what's going on, but I also want to be able to be on my phone or be editing episodes.
Do the dishes, fold laundry.
I don't want to
have
the cat, to turn off.
Keep watching. So when the movie was done, it was very much a just like so. And that has sparked it sparked something really stupid. I don't know why it's sentimental to me, but it very much brings up the conversation anytime I talk about Troll Hunter. He's like, don't make it sound like it was your find, Michaela. I told you about this movie. And it's just funny to me.
Yeah. That's the same thing with the Trick or Treat. Flynn's like, well, he didn't find it, but it's very much like if I start talking about Trick or Treat, he's like in the conversation. He's like, I love it. It's great.
Yeah. No.
Same with Splinter too, actually.
Ugh. Can't do it. But this is one of the movies that I will probably recommend to anybody who's never seen it.
It's really good.
Yeah. It was really well done. Unless they absolutely tell me, no, I cannot sit through foreign films, then I will recommend it to anybody I can.
Yeah. I mean, I did have a hard time. As like most of the time I was like, what's going on? You're like this. I'm happy.
There you go.
At least I was honest. I was like, I'm not doing well because it is a foreign film, but I'm trying my damnedest.
Yeah, exactly.
So those are top 4.
Yeah.
So I had The Babadook, Final Girls, Trick or Treat, and Splinter. And you had?
I had Teeth, It Follows, Low, and Troll Hunter.
Yay!
Yay!
So, we keep talking about the Patreon episodes. The Patreon episode this coming week is going to be my recommendation of Splinter. And in that, we're going to talk about... We already had 2 episodes out at this point, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know what that's all about. If you are a Black Cat Club member, you will get to listen to that. And for all of our patrons... we're going to be doing a top 5 list. So we're going to include these top 4s. And then we're going to add one more bonus movie for you guys. And we'll do a full write-up on each movie. And we'll give you guys like IMDb links and poster pictures. And it'll be a good time. And that will also be released on Wednesday with the Patreon episode. So basically any Patreon content will be released on Wednesdays from now on, if it wasn't already. Because we're doing all this in the future, in the past. We're doing it in the past. Whoa. I just broke my brain. And so moving on, next week we had a super special episode, and it is our very first guest episode. Yay!
It'll be fun.
It's my friend from high school, my only friend from high school, Paige, and she is one of the first people who really I bonded with over horror movies. And she is the one who I talk about constantly. Like, you talk about Effie constantly, I talk about Paige constantly about, like, what they love. So the episode we're doing with her is her love of 80s horror, and we're comparing the 80s version of the movies to their current remakes. So, for example, we're going to be doing A Nightmare on Elm Street. No, The Nightmare on Elm Street? Whatever the 80s version was. Compared to the 2007 version with Jackie Earle Haley, which was... But we'll get to that.
It's fine.
But yeah, so, okay. Also, tell us if you guys liked the Today I Learned Things I Learned episode segment, because we're just trying things out. We're to a point where we can expand a little bit, and we want your guys' input. And again, send us content, and we will... content for anything, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just see a fly on the wall and it looks like an interesting fly, maybe we'll do an episode on bugs. Who knows? That was a weird thing. Like, why fly? Why did I say fly?
Isn't The Fly a movie?
Yes. Ooh, we should do an episode on bugs.
Oh my gosh.
Exits. You can find our blogs and exclusive Black Cat Club episodes at patreon.com/RAHM podcast. You can find us on social media at RAHM podcast, and you can find our personal Instagrams. I am at BKDub, and Michaela is at Interstellar Camper. And if you want to buy any kind of merchandise that we have available, that's also available on our Podbean, and I know that it is in the link on our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook. So click on the link tree wherever you see it, and you can find links to all of our places. Yay! Thank you guys for listening. Bye!